All right, we are live, guys. Is everyone excited? How's it going? And yes, this is a slightly different view. It's a little bit different, but yeah, let's do this. Is everybody ready to see Zen 4? I am ready. Now I got to make sure we're going to put on, let me just put on a different YouTube video real quick, just to make sure I got my YouTube volume okay. And I've got, okay, let's see.
So this is what I sent to Fiverr artists and said, make something. That is a very slight exaggeration. I gave a tiny bit more direction than that.
Okay.
What I got back from them was, and now we just have to add our finishing touches to it. By the way, there was a reason behind this like weirdly vague green screen footage that I sent over. Like, it's not like I just hate
I'm just getting this fixed
or
up.
Anything. It's that this is a Fiverr challenge. Similar to the last Fiverr challenges we've done, except I wanted this one to go a step further.
How's it sounding? Everything sound okay?
This is a special one.
You can't
and by
see
the way,
it,
thank
I know,
you, Fiverr,
but
very much
here.
for sponsoring this video, making the whole thing
there you
possible.
go.
Appreciate you. But this is an important Fiverr challenge because finding an editor is very difficult, especially for brand new YouTubers and streamers. Like, it can be so hard. It's one thing to find someone who can like take your footage, chop it up,
How we
cut
looking?
out all the blank space and spit it back out to you so you can upload it to YouTube. It's another thing entirely to find someone who can take your footage and turn it into a work of art.
If you guys
That
don't
was
already watch
Denmark.
Harris Heller, you should watch Harris Heller. He's got great stuff. I like this guy. Not everybody likes him. Not everybody likes me. So it all works out. That's kind of, everyone is polarizing in their own way.
Watchable videos.
Most
Thank you
people that I've talked to about Harris Heller like him. Yeah, let's go. All right. I hope you guys are ready. Now, what are we expecting? We're expecting 3 processors, all right? 7600X, 7700X, and 7900X. Actually, maybe the 7950 as well. So 4 processors. 7950 XT. We're expecting integrated graphics for every one of them, right? We are expecting... look, here's the thing. Remember this. You don't believe everything you hear in a keynote, okay? That's because, remember, just a short while ago, just last year, midway through the year, around this time of year, Dr. Lisa Su held up a 5900X 3D and said, these are coming out in December. Neither of those things was true. So, just take everything with a grain of salt, and let's get excited, because it's an exciting time to be a computer nerd. Let's go. Very dramatic. Very dramatic. Yes. And there she is.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome,
Hi.
and thank you all for joining us today. It is so good to have so many of you here with us in Austin. This is our first live product launch in a couple of years.
It's in
and also
Austin. I
welcome
could
to
have...
all of you who are joining us online.
I wasn't invited.
We have some great new products to show you today. So,
It's 3 hours away.
At AMD, we're all about high performance and adaptive computing, and using our technology to create solutions that solve the world's most challenging problems. And from cloud services to 5G networks to AI to automotive, PCs, and much, much more, we're really touching everyone in terms of touching billions of people every single day. Now, today marks the beginning of an exciting new chapter for AMD. Over the next several quarters, we're going to introduce 4 new architectures to the market, and that's across more than a dozen products. So it's really just an incredible pace of innovation. It's more than we've ever done before. And we're going to start today with our new Zen 4 core that spans from high-end servers to desktop PCs to notebook PCs. We're going to also talk a little bit about our upcoming RDNA 3 gaming graphics architecture, which will bring another significant increase in performance and performance per watt for the most demanding gamers. And our Zen 4 C core That's optimized for cloud-native computing, as well as our next-gen AMD XDNA architecture that we're also all looking great and on track to launch in 2023.
RDNA 3.
Now,
Let's see if they
at
got.
AMD, we love the PC, and we especially love all of the PC gamers and enthusiasts around the world who push us to continue to build the best possible for CPUs and GPUs. We've been focused on delivering just outstanding experiences with our combination of hardware and software, and we're partnered with the world's top OEMs to deliver innovative new form factors and new system designs. So today is all about our next generation of Ryzen processors that will push the envelope for gamers, creators, and enthusiasts. So let's go ahead and get started.
Hope they worked on
Now, for
their
our next generation Ryzen CPUs, we set
hardware accelerated
very
ray
ambitious
tracing in their
goals. You know
cards.
that about AMD. We wanted to make the Ryzen 7000 series the fastest CPU for gamers while delivering the most compute for creators. We focused on a new CPU core design that combines both leadership performance and leadership energy efficiency. And we also wanted to take a big step forward with an all-new desktop platform that scales into the future.
LGA.
So to deliver on all these goals, the Ryzen 7000 series is the first 5-nanometer CPU for desktop PCs. Ryzen 7000 is both extremely performant and also extremely power efficient. And it has an all-new AM5 platform that supports the latest I/O and memory technologies, including PCIe Gen 5 as well as DDR5. So it all starts with our new Zen 4 core. Our designers have done it again. We've exceeded our performance goals for Zen 4, and that allows us to deliver leadership core performance. Now, earlier this year, we estimated that Zen 4 would deliver an 8 to 10% uplift in IPC compared to Zen 3. And I'm extremely excited to say today
That's
that
not
as we
IPC.
optimize the product for production, we now see 13% more IPC in desktop applications. Now, we also designed Zen 4 for high clock speed. So from a frequency standpoint, we've increased the frequency at the top of the stack to 5.7 gigahertz. That's 800 megahertz higher than we did in Ryzen 5000. And as a result, Ryzen 7000 single-threaded performance is up 29% higher compared to Ryzen 5000.
How sustainable is that, though?
These are just huge performance increases, and
That's
I'm extremely
crazy.
proud of what the team was able to deliver. Now let's look at our top-of-stack Ryzen 9 7950X.
Okay, of course. You start with the top.
We have 16 cores, 32 threads, up to 5.7 gigahertz boost, an 80 megabyte cache, and 170 watt TDP envelope. The 7950X is simply going to be the best CPU for gamers and for creators. So let's take a look at some of the performance. If you look at the performance in 1080p gaming compared to the 5950X, the 7950X delivers on average 15% more performance across a range of popular games. And that comes from the single-threaded performance increases. Now, for creators, the combination of our Zen 4 core and our AM5 platform delivers on average more than 40% compared to the 5950X. And that's where you really see the content creation capabilities come alive. Now, let's compare to the competition. You can see that the Ryzen 7950X is the fastest CPU in the world.
Clearly.
In 1080p gaming, the 7950X.
I mean, look at the random blank bars. I see gray, I see red, orange, and I see numbers. That's
up to 62%.
I hate these visuals. They tell you nothing.
So let's take a look at the 7950X.
They don't impress. Who do they impress?
Here,
really?
What we're showing is a time-lapse demo of the popular 3D modeling and simulation software V-Ray running a built-in gaming benchmark.
Now we're getting to the meat and potatoes.
Benchmark. And on the right side is the 7950X, and the left is the competition. As the demo completes, we see that the 7950X scores over 30,000.
The 5950X was still beating the 12900K in V-Ray. The 5950X. Of course, to go for V-Ray, it's more. It leans towards AMD, at least their architecture.
Waiting for their images to render. But there's another very important thing about this demo. Not only does the 7950X deliver 62% higher performance, it achieves this performance at 47% better performance per watt. That's 47% better performance per watt. So that leadership performance and energy efficiency really highlights why we're so excited for gamers, enthusiasts, and creators to really get their hands on our new Ryzen 7000 CPUs and AM5 platform. Now, in addition to the 7950X, we're also announcing 3 more Ryzen 7000 processors today, ranging from the 12-core 7900X to our 8-core and 6-core 7700X and 7600X. And these will all bring the leadership performance of Zen 4 across all price points. Now, in fact, if you look across this stack, what you see is that all 4 of our new Ryzen 7000 CPUs deliver faster single-thread performance in Geekbench than the competition. And as everyone knows, faster single-thread performance is great for gaming.
That's true.
So let's take a look at our mainstream 7600X and how that compares to the competition.
For a lot of games, not all games, for a lot of games.
Here you can see the Ryzen 7600X on the right and the competition on the left, both running F1 2022. And while you see smooth gameplay in both cases, the 7600X consistently delivers significantly higher frames per second. In fact, by the end of the benchmark, what you'll see is that the 7600X is actually 11% faster. That's our mainstream price point against the competition's best. Now, if you look across...
When you're in the multi-hundreds of frame rates, 11%, you will not be able to perceive that. They need something that's like Cyberpunk, something like that, that's harder to run.
At our mainstream price point. So hopefully you can now see why we're so excited about Zen 4 and how it really is the fastest core in the world.
There you go. It ties, right? It tied in Cyberpunk.
Now, to tell you a bit more about the leadership Zen 4 core design.
It's trading blows, but I mean, it's 12900K, not the 12600K. So that's impressive. It is very impressive. It's just the way that they pick and choose what to show you. I mean, it's their show. That's what they get to do. But, you know, well, let's keep watching.
It was a decade ago that we launched the design effort of our first Zen processor, starting the whole Zen family. And we set a goal to return AMD to sustained high-performance CPU delivery. In each new CPU generation, we've launched first with our Ryzen desktop, where our gaming and content creation customers really thrive on performance. When Zen 4 debuted in 2017, it just disrupted the industry with the significant IPC, performance, and energy gains that we were able to deliver. Zen 2, really brought with 7 nanometer an incredible compute efficiency. And then Zen 3 with its grounds up new architecture, delivering impressive high performance leadership. And now I could not be more excited than to introduce our new generation of Zen for Ryzen desktop products. Zen 4 continues our tradition of delivering new CPU performance that delivers high performance right on schedule. The result gives desktop users the generational high performance they need and have come to expect from AMD Ryzen CPUs. Our on-schedule high-performance delivery has enabled AMD to become a trusted supplier to our customers, and Zen 4 delivers again.
Okay. What happened in December then? What happened to a full line of 3D VCast chips that were supposed to compete with 12th gen Intel? That's what we were told, but I'm pretty sure basically they were all hands on deck instead to do this, to develop this.
Technology improvements compared to Zen 3. I'm pleased to share that Zen 4 brings a significant instruction for clock uplift, 13%. We've added a new front-end design to better feed our execution pipes. For machine learning and high computation workloads, we have expanded our x86 instruction support to include AVX 512. And lastly, we leveraged the most cutting-edge process node along with AMD design efficiencies to bring these significant performance and energy efficiency gains. Look, let's start with always the first measure of a new CPU microarchitecture, because it's always starts with how efficiently a processor can get the job done at each clock tick. That's IPC, instruction per clock. You know, I'm often asked if we used up all the tricks in the book for CPU performance, or is there still levers at the ready for our ongoing roadmap? And you all know the answer. At AMD, we thrive on innovation. And you see that persist in each generation delivery across our Zen roadmap. Zen 4 brings a geo-mean of 13% instruction per clock improvement using typical desktop applications. And let's break that down. This 13% improvement versus Zen 3 is a geo-mean. So we are looking at 22 representative workloads across gaming, content creation, computational benchmarks that we show here. And as we did in the transition from Zen 2 to Zen 3, we felt it was important to show you a really holistic view of how the desktop workloads respond to the changes we've made in the core. I'm also pleased to show that many of the gaming workloads really demonstrate a disproportionately larger set of gains in Zen 4. And that
Sorry, Fortnite gamers, you get 3%.
a cumulative IPC improvement over that Zen era, over that 4 generations, demonstrates our relentless focus on core performance because it's delivered a 235% IPC gain over that period. Our focus on core performance is simply relentless. Zen 4 is a derivative of Zen 3, so we targeted, of course, enhancing on that base of Zen 3, building on the success. With Zen 3, we increased the execution width, and so at Zen 4, it became important for us to work on how we feed the instructions even faster into the machine. And that's why you see most of the improvements coming from the front end and branch prediction. Really, that makes up almost 60% of that IPC gain, increasing the capability of more instructions per cycle. We grew the op cache over 1.5x to increase the hit rate and deliver more ops per cycle. The load store has improvements and a larger L2, a doubling of the L2, provide critical data faster, leading to that overall 13% IPC. So AMD has also long supported the advanced vector extensions in x86. And in Zen 4, we're excited to add support for AVX 512. When going to such a wide vector width, we took very careful design consideration to avoid impacting the performance when you have that high switching activity of those wide vectors. So what we did with Zen 4 is we implemented using a double pumping of a 256-bit data width. And that
Phrasing.
is really to design in such a way that you avoid large frequency fluctuations when you have such switching activity with 512-bit workloads being executed. Using AVX 512, we see up to a 1.3x improvement of 32-bit precision floating point inferencing operations. And that's versus, of course, our previous Zen 3 generation. And with this kind of capability, we can target heavy lifting HPC workloads as well, like molecular simulation, ray tracing, physics simulators, and the like. As part of adding support for AVX 512 implementation, we added extensions for convolutional neural nets with the vector neural net instructions, VNNI. In desktop applications, the Ryzen 7000 series with VNNI support and the Int8 approximate math format delivers a 2.5x improvement over Ryzen 5000 series CPUs. It's a huge speed up for applications like image processing and natural language processing. Now let's take a look at the overall performance and performance per watt gains. Our decades-long relationship with TSMC and our EDA partners continues with 5 nanometer. We operate in a deep design technology co-optimization partnership that really synergistically makes certain that the design and the process changes work harmoniously together to deliver performance.
Anybody else feel like you're in a corporate boardroom right now? Keyword there is bored. Like there's so much corporate talk in this. It's like, I don't care about your relationship with TSMC. We know about it, but that's not why people showed up.
The device scaling, the device capacitance, and the metal stack, making significant contributions to our overall Zen 4 performance. In addition to design levers to further improve our compute efficiency leadership. The logic and cache area scaling in the M5 allowed us to further reduce the die area over Zen 3 by 18%, despite adding new performance features and instruction support. A 15-layer telescoping metal stack has been co-optimized to deliver both high-frequency and high-density routing capability.
I mean, it is fascinating stuff,
The
but
partnership around design.
remember, guys, there are probably shareholders watching this who this is, you know, directed. A lot of this is going to be directed at them. Like, hey, we did great. We're doing exactly what we said we were going to do. And also, yeah, this is great and that's great. And also buzzwords. So that's part of this. It's part of playing the game, I guess. But this is important right here.
Performance, or 49% more performance at the same power compared to Zen 3. AMD is committed to high performance with sustainability, reducing the environmental impact of our high performance processors. And this is quickly becoming a rising criteria across our customer base. The impact of Zen 4 and Ryzen 7000 series is fully evident in the performance gains. They look at the same across the TDP range here. The leadership in 5 technology is a part of the reason we can deliver such huge gains. And of course, it's amplified by the IPC gains. And look at the 65-watt TDP. That's where N5 shines. We've really, been able to deliver those IPC gains without compromising on power. Tremendous advantage. We've doubled down on our implementation efficiency, getting to a finer grain level of power optimization.
You know why this is so important? Well, wait until the NVIDIA keynote later on this year, and they talk about how much power it's going to need. We need more efficient CPUs because we're getting less efficient GPUs.
Compelling performance at low TDP, incentivizing customers to save power and take advantage of efficient, cool, and quiet systems for leading-edge performance. 5 years ago, when we announced the first generation of Zen, I showed you that we were advantaged in area and power versus our competitors' x86 CPU. Well, we continue. In fact, we've grown that advantage. The AMD Zen 4 Core plus L2 complex is about 50% smaller than the competition. That's a choice. We chose to optimize both high performance and power efficiency. Rather than just throwing power and area at the problem, we've been able at AMD to achieve a balance of high frequency design.
The thing is, going to a smaller process node is going to provide efficiency. It's going to make it more efficient. That's how that works. And it's one of the reasons why Intel is far less efficient, and they have to just basically power through. They have to basically like cram power into the CPUs. It works, but these guys are way ahead of the game on
And that's great for memory intensive workloads.
On the nanometer pathway
in our
there.
previous generation Vcache. Our Zen 4C, it's a compact density that's an addition. It's a new swim lane to our cores roadmap, and it delivers the identical functionality of Zen 4 at about half of the core area. And that'll be coming out in the first half of 2023 in our server lineup. This core is workload optimized for applications that don't need to run at the highest frequency and can deliver even more computational efficiency. I'm also glad to share that we remain on track for Zen 5, featuring a new grounds-up core for 2024.
There we go. Not an
Zen 5
incremental
will bring
update like this one.
a combination of performance gains as well as further optimizations for the growing AI workloads.
Now, to be clear, I said incremental update. They're basically they're expanding upon the architecture of Zen 3 to make Zen 4. It seems like a completely new clean slate because they're going from PGA to LGA. But no, as mentioned earlier, they're expanding upon Zen 3 to make Zen 4, and it's just refining it, basically. It's just no longer socket AM4. It's
Good partner for our customers, and our next generation of designs are well underway. With 5 nanometer process technology and design optimization, Zen 4 delivers. In desktop applications, it will not only bring performance leadership, but deliver that performance at a fraction of the power consumption of the competition. And I'll repeat a phrase I've said many times over the years. There will be no let up in AMD innovation. Zen 4 and Ryzen 7000 series is a shining example of high-performance leadership delivered with an energy efficiency that our society wants and simply requires going forward. Thank you.
Okay, next-gen enthusiast desktop platform.
I'd like to introduce David McAfee, who will come on stage here and share with us.
Have you guys been keeping up with 5000 series Threadripper? It's crazy. It's not for enthusiasts, though. They basically have made it for the prosumer and professional. More professional workstation than prosumer, even. Incredible stuff, though, but not for gaming. It doesn't work for that.
The platform that surrounds all of the innovation that Mark just talked about. Let's start by taking a look back for a moment on the AM4 platform and reflecting on what an incredible feat of engineering it represents. First introduced in September of 2016, and now nearly 6 years later, it's still going strong. With AM4, we made a promise to maintain a stable platform which gave users the confidence that they could buy today and upgrade their system over time. While keeping the platform consistent, we drove incredible innovation into the socket. Innovation like 5 different CPU architectures across 4 process nodes.
What AMD did with a fixed number of pins over those years was a technological marvel. They did a fantastic job with that. Let's hope that the next socket lasts as long.
Over 125 processor models introduced and more than 500 motherboards. AM4 has transformed the expectations of desktop enthusiasts. As we turn our focus to the next generation of Ryzen desktops, our goal of creating a platform that grows with you remains consistent. Beginning with the 7000 series processors, powered by the industry-leading Zen 4 core, the AM5 platform brings a new level of capabilities built ready for the future. It all starts with a new 17-18-pin LGA socket designed to handle the next generation.
That's 18 more than LGA 1700, by the way.
Easier for the end user. We've expanded the socket power delivery to 230 watts to allow our Zen 4 processors to unlock the maximum all-core performance in the most demanding creator and gaming workloads.
Solid number of watts.
Delivering clear leadership in performance per watt and power efficiency. AM5 is a platform that's built for the future, with next-generation technologies like DDR5 and PCIe 5 to ensure that your build today meets your growing needs for years to come.
And USB 4?
Also designed a platform to leverage the best of our existing ecosystem, maintaining compatibility between today's diverse selection of AM4 coolers and our next-generation AM5 platform. Every PC build is unique, and as we launch into AM5, we wanted to create a broad range of choices to best meet every user's needs.
The X670E.
As we go into AM5, we'll offer 2 classes of motherboards, the X series and the B series. The X series boards, which will be available in September, are built to be uncompromising.
September.
With the highest power delivery and overclocking headroom across CPU and memory, along with the most I/O across the board. While every X series board will offer PCIe 5 storage, X670 Extreme boards will enable PCIe 5 to graphics as well as storage slots on the board. We're also announcing our B series boards available in October, which strike a balance between enabling next generation technologies and great value for the end user.
That's good. That's sooner than I expected.
The X series, you'll see B series Extreme boards, which offer similar capabilities with PCIe 5 graphics and storage. Now, speaking of PCIe 5 for a minute, let's talk about one of the first technologies coming to market in this cutting-edge I/O technology. PCIe 5 doubles the bandwidth for each lane on the board, unlocking the capability to drive substantially higher read and write performance and faster access when working with large and complex files. Starting in November of this year, PCIe 5 storage devices will be available from a wide range of partners around the globe.
Interesting. Okay, well,
One of the other key
I have heard about that.
decisions in our AM5 platform was memory selection. And here we wanted to design a platform not just for today, but one that's built for tomorrow. And that's why DDR5 is the memory solution on our AM5 platform.
Force the market. Make it
DDR4
happen.
memory has been a great technology choice for gamers and creators for the past 5+ years. But it's also a technology which has reached the end of its evolution. First released in 2020, DDR5 picks up where DDR4 ends, with higher data rates to drive more bandwidth, the ability to deliver very low memory latency, and a roadmap to quadruple or more capacity per DIMM. It's clear that DDR5 is the right choice today and one that is built for the future as the technology continues to mature over time. Now, we know that Ryzen enthusiasts love to overclock their memory to ensure they're getting the fastest data rates and the lowest memory latency to maximize game performance. And that's why the AM5 platform is also being introduced with AMD Expo technology, or extended profiles for overclocking.
Yeah, it's their XMP, right.
Expo DIMMs enable one-click DDR5 overclocking for Ryzen AM5 builds, driving up to 11% faster gaming performance, lower latency down to 63 nanoseconds, and built on a standard that provides clear and open specifications to the end user so they know exactly what they're getting when they buy an Expo memory kit. As we launch into AM5, we expect to see over 15 Expo memory kits in market at launch, offered by the leading partners in high-performance memory overclocking and pushing the limits of DDR5 up to 6400 data rates even as we first enter the market. AM5 is the next generation of Ryzen, and it's a platform that we built for the future. This year, we expect to see motherboards in market starting from $125 to offer an incredibly wide range of price points to meet every system build needs.
Okay, 125.
We built the
that's...
platform around next generation technologies so that you can build today and upgrade as your needs grow over time. And just like AM4, we're making a commitment to support the AM5 platform with new technologies and next generation architectures through at least 2025. I'm really excited about the next era of Ryzen desktops with AM5. Now let me bring Lisa back up on stage to recap today's news.
But why that IHS? Who chose that?
All right. So thank you, David.
It's interesting, but why?
7000 CPUs are delivering on all of our ambitious goals. If you look at it, Ryzen 7000 delivers 11% faster single-threaded performance, 44% higher multi-threaded performance, and 47% more performance per watt than the competition. Now that you've seen everything that Ryzen 7000 series can do, I know you're all wondering about price and availability. Is that right? Okay, starting at the top of the stack, the 16-core 7950X is $699. The 12-core 7900X is $549.
Huh.
The 8-core is $399, and the 6-core 7600X is priced at $299. And all 4 of these will be on shelf worldwide on September 27th.
Okay. Okay. No, it's just not. Hey. It could have been worse,
now,
guys.
I mentioned earlier that it's a very exciting time for AMD as we bring 4 new architectures to market over the coming quarters. And while today was all about Ryzen 7000, of course we know gamers are always interested in what's coming next. So for all the gamers out there, I'm very excited that we have one more update for you today. This is our next generation Radeon graphics card powered by our all-new RDNA 3 architecture.
All right, go on. Go ahead.
It's very pretty.
Go ahead.
By combining our most advanced gaming architecture with 5-nanometer chiplets, RDNA 3 GPUs will deliver more than 50% more performance per watt than our current generation Radeon GPUs. And it's currently running in our labs. The performance looks absolutely wonderful. And so for the first time ever, let's take a look at RDNA 3 in action with the Ryzen 9 7950X. So what you're seeing here is the highly anticipated title Lies of P from our friends at NeoWiz. This game was a breakout hit at Gamescom earlier this month based on its incredible visuals and gameplay. And what you're seeing is 4K gameplay at ultra settings running on a pre-production RDNA 3 GPU. Let's take a look at it a bit. It looks absolutely wonderful, doesn't it?
Don't zoom in. Okay, you zoomed in on me? Okay, I guess we're done.
Now, we are feeling great about how RDNA 3 looks in the labs, and I can't wait to tell you more about it when we launch later this year. So let me wrap up here and say that we're so excited that you could join us today. Ryzen 7000 series is absolutely the world's first desktop processor in 5 nanometer. With the Zen 4 core, it's the fastest processor in the world for gaming and content creation. And with our new AM5 platform, it really brings the latest technologies for I/O and memory. It also brings our commitment for multi-year processor roadmap support and support through 2025 and beyond. So thank you to all the members of the press from around the world for joining us here in Austin today. We really appreciate it. And thank you to all of you who joined us online. It's been so much fun sharing with you how AMD and our partners continue to advance the PC experience. Thank you.
Together we advance _PCs. Well, let's talk about underscoring. What underscored that presentation? And to me, it was the fact that, like, yes, this is a new socket, but it doesn't mean it's a new architecture. Okay, that's going to be Zen 5. And you know, there are certain things that are going to happen when you go to a smaller process node. That's going to give you efficiency. When you double your L2 cache, these things are going to naturally lead to improvements in performance. There are some more some more deeper things going on there that were discussed, but what matters most to my audience, you guys, so let's talk about it. $129 for, say, the baseline B650, and $299 for a 7600X. And by the looks of it, that's going to be a hell of a gaming system. And, you know, the 5600X was also capable, of course, doing things like streaming and stuff like that. But we have to remember that 129 is probably going to be like your most baseline ASRock motherboard or something like that has, like, 5 USB ports and, whatever. Just give the peasants the minimum. But it's good that there is such a low jumping in point, and it's actually hopefully going to lead to some really awesome budget builds and budget options from system integrators and of course for DIY. So what we were looking at there was put that together, and you have a $420 buy-in, $430 buy-in for the next generation of AMD at the lowest level. It was quite good. It was honestly, the pricing is what I was worried about, and they nailed it. It's fine. It could have been way worse than that. Well, okay. They could have also gone the route of, like, hey, we're gonna undercut on price, but c'est la vie. Can't win. Can't, nothing. There is no perfect product. There's no perfect situation there. But I'm optimistic. I think it's gonna be great. And what was it? $699? Was it $699 for the 7950X? So the range is fine. I think the range of prices are fine. I did, of course, I'm sure you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. The whole, like, by the way, RDNA 3 is there. Look at it existing. It's no wonder that, Intel Arc was like, hey, we could just do that. We can totally just do that for as long as we want. Because that's how it goes at these keynotes when it's not the main topic of conversation. So, hey, what's up, Power GPU? How's that going? How's it going? Welcome. I wasn't really reacting to chat. I apologize. This is going up on YouTube. By the way, YouTube, congratulations. You get to skip through the boring parts. But yeah, I'm going to be uploading this to YouTube here in just a minute. But $700 for the 7950X is going to be awesome. That thing is going to be a powerhouse. And I just wish that they hadn't... look, I'm going to show you all something real quick, okay? Yeah, get out. All right. Let's see. Puget Bench. They showed off. Let me just get to it first, okay? All right. So they decided to show off V-Ray. They decided to show off V-Ray. How V-Ray beats the new 7950X totally beats the 12900K in V-Ray. So does the 5950X. It's a very specific application that favors AMD. They focused more on that, and then they showed a chart of like a bunch of games, and then it's like, but no, like we got to show them just how much more, even more better it is at V-Ray than the 12900K. You're already winning at that. But that just goes to show you that, I mean, that's not uncommon. It's not a bad thing to go up and flex a little bit where your strengths are. It's just, I don't know. I don't see a lot of benefit in that. It's just whatever. That's how that goes. This is there you go. It's already doing that. And of course, except for, before it was 12900K, Cinebench R23, and they're saying it's going to beat that. But remember, 13900K is right around the corner. Although, unless they put a lot of work into those 8 performance cores that they're leaving on the 13900K, they may get left in the dust here, because that score, that single core score, was pretty impressive. Unreal, it also wins at Unreal, so I'm very surprised that they didn't show off how well the 7950X beats the 12900K at Unreal, which they don't mention which version of Unreal this is, do they? Or they do. Unreal Engine, maybe they don't, whatever. But then again, yeah, you keep moving, and then in everything else here, Intel is winning. So they didn't talk about Premiere Pro, After Effects, Photoshop. Did they? They might have. They might have just showed a big chart, and I just didn't quite catch it. But either way, I guess show off where you feel like you can show off. That's fine, I suppose. I'm not mad at it. Just so you know, I sound mad. I'm just excited. I'm excited because this is a very exciting time. A very exciting time to be into computers, because there was this big lull in innovation and in competition. Now they're trading blows, man. Now this is a good fight. This is what we want. We want it to be hard to choose for a wealth of good options, right? And I want it to be the case again, where I can say, like, oh, you're going to do this? Well, this is a clear option for you. This is a clear option for you. That helps me out. But having this competition, having the leapfrog, that's where advancement comes from, right there. That's where the biggest leaps are made, because they're competing for you. They're competing to get you, your attention, and your money. That's, that's what they want. That's what they need in order to keep feeding their the progress, and of course they gotta eat, right? So yeah, it was good. It was good. It was a good keynote. I liked it. I'm gonna tell you right now, AMD is very good at keynotes. There was a lull there where it was a bunch of corporate talk, and I didn't like that very much, but that has to happen. That shareholders must be made happy. They are holding the shares, after all. So, all in all, I think that this is a really exciting time. We're looking at less than a month before this launches. So, AMD, bring it on, guys. Let's see what you got. I was disappointed with, not getting 3D V-Cache in December, like we were told, and then it eventually just being one chip. Well, it's time to come back. And by the way, one criticism I have, and I brought it up during the keynote. Don't pat yourselves on the back for keeping your commitments, because you didn't. You did not do that. You didn't keep your commitments for 3D V-Cache. We were told a whole lineup of 3D V-Cache chips in December, and we got 6 months later one chip, and that was it. So, don't pat yourselves on the back like that. It's not a good look when you're 8 months after missing a deadline you set for yourselves and told us and bragged about. Okay, just putting that out there. That little slide could have been skipped, and if you had, this would have been 100% positive. So that's it. Can't wait to tear it apart and stress it. Absolutely, it's gonna be fun. And oh yeah, the Agisa is going to be, remember this, guys, this stuff is going to be coming out, and this is something that I've said many times, and Org Chaos reminded me of it. Remember, if you are new to PCs, you may want to wait. If you are not new to PCs, if you are used to debugging, flashing BIOS, doing things like that, it's going to be, you're going to have maybe some stability issues. There's not only, there's still XMP's been around for a while, different versions of it, of course, but there's still problems with it. And now Expo is new. I feel is where the major issues are going to be with DDR5 and getting your auto overclocks going. That's where I think some of the problems are going to be, and they may be a little overly ambitious there, but who knows? We'll see. My question though, what about DDR5 that doesn't have Expo, that doesn't have anything in it for that? What's the deal there? What's going to happen there? Do you have to buy new DDR5 for it to work with that? That wasn't really expanded upon, was it? So these are the kinds of questions we're going to be asking over the next month and speculating on, because that is it. That is the info that we got. The rest is going to be maybe a leak here and there, but there's not really much to leak anymore. We have pricing, we have release dates, and October is when the budget boards are going to come out, and they're great. B650 is going to be probably the one I would recommend for most people, because I gamed, streamed, and did content creation on a fancy, fair enough, it was a fancy B550, but it was everything I needed. So don't think you got to go X670E or anything like that. Those are the really cool ones and stuff, and if it's in the budget, do it. But B650 is probably going to be mighty impressive. B650E is also a thing. That's probably where I'm going to direct quite a few people there actually thinking about it. But we'll have to see what the specs are on those motherboards. We've only been shown X670E motherboards. And then in a couple smaller form factor boards from ASUS. Thank you for showing those. And thank you for paying attention to the small form factor crowd, ASUS, because they were wanting to know what was up too. And guys, I apologize that I wasn't really answering chat very much. I know I've been on this screen for a while. That actually was a mistake. I meant to just come back to this. I don't know why I was showing this Photoshop screen, but Puget Bench is an awesome. They're very, very good at lining things up, showing you how things stack. But if you guys, you know what? Tell me what you guys think about Zen 4, about Socket AM5, and their commitment. Because so AM4, what was it? How many? 5 years? About 5 years. And now they're saying 2025, which is 3 years from now, but then they said and beyond. Do you guys think they're going to support that Socket AM5 is going to be compatible for the next 5 years? Let's hope so. And just share your thoughts in the comments below. And thanks for sharing this experience with me, guys. And we'll see you soon.